What if I told you the woman you can't stop thinking about is already showing you exactly how she feels, but you're missing it every single day? And the worst part, by the time you finally understand it, it might already be too late. Before we go deeper, take a second, subscribe, like this video, because what you're about to hear could completely change how you see her and yourself. Listen carefully. Men are taught to look for obvious signs, big confessions, dramatic gestures, clear words. But real emotional truth doesn't work like that. A woman rarely risks everything by saying, "I love you" first. Not because she doesn't feel it, but because she's constantly measuring safety, consistency, and emotional stability in you. So instead, she communicates in ways that feel invisible, unless you know exactly what to watch for. And here's where most men fail. You overanalyze her texts, her emojis, the timing of her replies, but completely overlook the deeper signals, the ones rooted in her psychology, not her surface behavior. Love, for a woman, is not loud at first. It's careful, it's observant, it's quietly intense. When a woman begins to love you, she doesn't just see you, she studies you. She starts building an emotional map of who you are, your habits, your reactions, your fears, your silence. And if you're not paying attention, you'll mistake her love for something casual, something replaceable, something that doesn't need your full presence. That's how men lose women who are actually ready to give them everything. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. A woman in love becomes emotionally invested before she ever becomes verbally expressive. And that gap, that silence between feeling and saying, is where everything either grows or quietly dies. You might think she's just being nice, just being friendly, just passing time, but beneath that, she's deciding something much bigger. She's deciding if you're the man she can trust with her vulnerability, or just another lesson she'll have to heal from later. And once she makes that decision, it's almost impossible to reverse. So if you've been confused about her feelings, if you've been stuck wondering whether she's serious about you or just keeping you around, you don't need more guesses, you need clarity, because the signs are already there. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 most powerful psychological signs that a woman is not just interested, but genuinely falling in love with you right now. Miss them, and you lose her without even realizing why. There's a moment, subtle, almost invisible, where a woman stops interacting with you casually and starts responding to you emotionally. Most men don't even notice when it happens. They think nothing has changed, but everything has. When a woman is beginning to love you, she starts letting you see parts of her that she normally keeps hidden from the world. Not the polished version, not the confident version, the real one. And I need you to understand something. This is not accidental. A woman doesn't open up emotionally because she's bored or because she has nothing better to do. She opens up because somewhere deep inside, she feels that you might be safe enough to handle what she's about to reveal. You'll notice it in the way her tone shifts. She starts telling you stories that aren't impressive. She talks about her past, her fears, the things that hurt her. She might even joke about her insecurities. But if you listen closely, those jokes carry truth. That's not small talk, that's trust forming. And here's where most men get it wrong. They either ignore it or they mishandle it. They change the subject, they give shallow responses, or worse, they try to fix everything instead of simply understanding her. What she's actually testing in those moments is not your intelligence, it's your emotional presence. Can you sit with her truth without judging it? Can you hear her without turning it into something about yourself? Can you stay grounded while she becomes vulnerable? Because when a woman feels emotionally safe with you, something powerful happens. She relaxes. And when she relaxes, she attaches. This is the first real sign that she's not just interested in you, she's emotionally investing in you. But there's a deeper layer most men miss. When she opens up, she's also watching how you react, very carefully. Not just your words, your energy. If you become distant, distracted, or uncomfortable, she will slowly pull back. Not dramatically, quietly. And once that door starts closing, it rarely opens the same way again. But if you stay present, calm, and genuinely engaged. She begins to associate you with emotional safety. And emotional safety is the foundation of love, not attraction, not chemistry, safety. Because a woman can feel attracted to many men, but she will only fall deeply for the one who makes her feel understood without having to explain herself over and over again. So if she's letting you into her inner world, even in small pieces, don't overlook it. That's not casual behavior. That's the beginning of something real. Now listen carefully, because this is where things start to separate men who think she likes them from men she is actually emotionally attached to. When a woman begins to love you, her attention changes shape. It stops being random and starts being intentional. She doesn't just reply to you anymore, she checks in on you. And that difference is everything. She will find reasons to message you that don't make logical sense. A small thought, a memory, a question she could have ignored but didn't. Not because she has nothing to do, but because you are now becoming part of her emotional rhythm. You're no longer just a person she talks to, you're someone she thinks through the day. And this is where most men misread the situation completely. They assume consistency means obligation. They assume her presence means politeness. But emotional attachment doesn't behave like politeness. It behaves like curiosity. She starts paying attention to the smallest details about you, things you didn't even think mattered. The way you respond when you're tired, the tone of your voice when you're slightly annoyed, the words you use when you're distracted. Not because she's analyzing you like a scientist, but because she's emotionally mapping you like someone who matters. And here's the part you need to understand on a deeper level. When a woman is emotionally neutral, she remembers facts. When she's emotionally attached, she remembers feelings. She won't always recall what you said perfectly, but she will remember how she felt while talking to you. That emotional imprint becomes the foundation of her connection to you. And if you're consistent in how you make her feel, calm, safe, seen, she starts returning to you not out of habit, but out of emotional pull. There's another subtle shift most men completely miss. She starts sharing her time differently. Time is the most valuable currency a woman gives. Not attention, not compliments, time. When she starts reorganizing her day, even slightly, to include you, you are no longer just an option in her life. You are becoming a priority in her internal world. But here's where you need to be very honest with yourself. This stage is fragile. Because at this point, she is not fully in love yet, but she is emotionally leaning toward you. And in that leaning state, she is extremely sensitive to inconsistency. One moment of emotional neglect, one period of confusion, one careless attitude, and she starts pulling herself back before she even tells you why. Not because she stopped caring, but because she started protecting herself. So if you're seeing her reach out, think of you, include you in her day without forcing it. Understand this clearly. You are not just being noticed anymore. You are being emotionally integrated into her life. Section 4. When a woman starts to love you, she doesn't just include you in her day, she starts including you in her future without telling you. You will notice it in the way she talks about tomorrow, next week, even months ahead, and somehow you are already inside those conversations. It might sound casual, almost meaningless, but psychologically it is extremely significant. She begins to test emotional continuity, not by asking directly, but by imagining you in scenarios where stability matters. Trips, plans, small life decisions. She is silently checking if your presence feels natural in her long-term thinking or if it feels temporary. And here is what most men completely miss. A woman does not plan a future with a man she does not emotionally trust. She might enjoy you, she might even desire you, but she will not mentally place you in her future unless something deeper has already been activated inside her. That something is emotional safety combined with consistency. Because attraction is instant, but emotional investment is built slowly through repetition of good experiences. Now pay attention to this shift. She starts asking questions that are not about curiosity anymore. They are about alignment. What do you think about relationships? Where do you see yourself in a few years? What kind of life do you want? On the surface, these sound like normal conversations. But underneath, she is not just listening to your answers, she is measuring compatibility. She is asking herself a silent question every time you speak. Can I build a life with this man without losing myself? And if your answers create comfort, not confusion, she starts relaxing into the idea of you. This is where emotional attachment starts deepening without physical escalation or dramatic confession. But there is a dangerous misunderstanding many men fall into here. They think this stage guarantees love. It does not. It only means she is considering you seriously. And in this phase, your behavior becomes everything. Because inconsistency now does not just create doubt, it creates emotional withdrawal. She will not argue, she will not complain. She will simply reduce your presence in her inner world, slowly, quietly, permanently. That is why emotional maturity matters more than charm at this stage, because she is no longer asking, "Do I like him?" She is asking something far more serious. Can I trust him with my emotional future now? There is a point in a woman's emotional journey where she stops trying to impress you and starts trying to understand you deeply. And if you pay attention, this shift is one of the strongest signs she is developing real love. She becomes observant in a different way, not surface-level observant, but emotionally investigative. She notices when your mood changes slightly, even if you say nothing. She can sense when something is off in your energy before you even explain it. And instead of ignoring it, she gently pulls closer. This is not coincidence. This is emotional attunement. When a woman starts loving you, your emotional state starts affecting hers. If you are calm, she feels safe. If you are distant, she feels unsettled. If you are stressed, she becomes emotionally alert. That connection is not logic. It is attachment forming in real time. And here is something most men misunderstand completely. She is not trying to fix you. She is trying to feel close to you without losing herself in the process. So she will check on you in subtle ways. She might not say, "Are you okay?" directly every time. Instead, she will ask indirect questions or create small openings for you to express yourself. And when you do, she listens differently. Not like a stranger, not like a friend, but like someone who is emotionally building a place for you inside her inner world. Now here is the deeper layer. She begins to emotionally mirror you. Your tone starts influencing hers. Your energy affects her communication style. Even her patience level subtly adjusts around you. This mirroring is not conscious manipulation. It is emotional bonding at a psychological level. And the more stable and grounded you are, the more she begins to associate you with emotional security. But there is a very important truth here most men ignore. If you become emotionally unpredictable, she does not fight harder for you. She detaches silently. Because at this stage, her nervous system is already involved. She is not just choosing you with her mind anymore, she is starting to feel you with her body, her reactions, her instincts. And instincts always prioritize safety over desire. So when she feels emotionally safe with you, she leans in. But when she feels emotional instability, she starts stepping back, without warning, without explanation, without drama. That is why men often say, "She changed suddenly," when in reality, she was withdrawing slowly for a long time. So if you notice her becoming more emotionally aware of you, pay attention, because this is no longer casual interest. This is emotional bonding moving into something much deeper and much harder to reverse. At this stage, something very subtle but powerful starts happening. She begins to choose you during emotional moments, not during the easy moments, not when she is bored, but when something actually happens in her life that affects her emotionally. A bad day, a stressful situation, a moment of uncertainty, and instead of turning to everyone, she turns to you. This is one of the clearest psychological signs that attachment has formed, because women do not emotionally lean on men they don't trust. They may talk to them, they may interact casually, but they will not expose emotional vulnerability unless there is a sense of safety already built. And here is what makes this stage so important. She is no longer just sharing information with you, she is sharing emotional states. That is a completely different level of connection. When she is happy, she tells you. When she is overwhelmed, she reaches out. When she feels uncertain, she looks for your presence, even if it's just through a message, a call, or a small conversation. And slowly, without either of you forcing it, you start becoming her emotional reference point. Now listen closely. This does not mean she depends on you in an unhealthy way. It means her nervous system is beginning to associate you with regulation. You calm her, you stabilize her, you make her feel grounded in a world that often feels unpredictable. And this is where emotional bonding becomes very real, because attraction alone does not create attachment, but emotional regulation does. However, there is a hidden test happening at this stage that most men never realize. She is watching how you handle her emotional exposure. Not just the words you say, but the energy you bring when she is vulnerable. Do you become distant? Do you become impatient? Do you make her feel like she is too much? Or do you stay steady, present, and emotionally consistent? Because if she ever feels like she has to suppress herself around you, she will slowly stop sharing. And once that emotional door begins to close, it rarely opens the same way again. But if she feels safe expressing herself, even in her messy, emotional, imperfect state, something very deep happens. She starts associating you with comfort. And comfort is what turns interest into attachment, and attachment into love. So if she is choosing you in her emotional moments, understand what that really means. You are no longer just part of her life. You are becoming part of her emotional world. Now we reach the final truth most men never hear clearly enough. Because when a woman is truly falling in love with you, she doesn't announce it loudly. She reveals it through protection. You'll notice she becomes more emotionally aware of how others treat you. She pays attention when someone disrespects you. She reacts differently to people who don't value you. Even if she doesn't say it directly, her energy changes around anything that threatens your worth. This is not possessiveness in a shallow sense. This is emotional investment turning into subtle loyalty. And loyalty always begins before love is spoken. She also starts to defend you in small, quiet ways, correcting misunderstandings, clarifying your intentions when others misread you, standing slightly closer in conversations without making it obvious. Not because she is trying to control anything, but because in her mind, you are no longer just a guy. You are becoming someone she is emotionally aligned with. Now here is the deepest part of everything I've told you. A woman in love does not just want your attention. She wants emotional certainty. She wants to know that the connection she feels with you is not temporary, not confusing, not unstable. Because uncertainty is what destroys emotional attachment faster than anything else. So she watches your consistency, not your words, not your promises, your consistency. Do you stay the same when things are easy and when things are difficult? Do you remain emotionally stable even when she is not at her best? Do you show up the same way today as you did yesterday? Because in her mind, love is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in repetition. Now listen carefully to this final realization. If a woman is showing you these signs, emotional openness, future thinking, emotional reliance, subtle loyalty, she is not just interested. She is already emotionally attached to you in ways she may not even fully understand yet. But attachment is fragile. It grows through consistency, and it disappears through neglect. So the real question is not whether she loves you. The real question is, are you becoming the kind of man her love can safely stay attached to? Because once a woman feels emotionally safe with you, she does not forget it easily. But once she feels emotionally unsafe, she remembers that even more.